Hello and welcome to Puzzlers Anonymous. My name is Kevin and I am a puzzle addict and I am traveling through time, by which I mean it is Saturday night and I'm doing a Sunday crossword because the New York Times publishes these very early and I don't have much going on this weekend. I am actually going out with friends later, but not until like 8:30 and it's 6 p.m. So I'm going to do tomorrow's Sunday crossword because I'm excited for it. And also because Sundays are long crosswords, I won't talk a lot. I'll get right into it because my last video took an hour for a Friday and Sundays take way longer than any other day of the week. So we got to get rolling. This is from Peter Coders. It is Bright Ideas, which means that is the theme. So we might not get any other theme information. Oh my goodness, and this is a visual one. There's a few interesting things about this. I would say there's three interesting things if I want to be very specific. One is that they're doing graphic art, which is not a thing that the New York Times does very often. Puzzmo does that a lot. They actually did this a few days ago. They've done a few graphic art ones. Actually, they did one today. Now that I think about it, they had a little heart one, sort of an early Valentine's thing. So that's number one that's really interesting is that, it's Bright Ideas, and this is a light bulb here. And yeah, so Puzzmo did the heart. They also, on February 2nd, they had a grid that was a 2 for 2, 2, 24. And it was actually fun because it also had these two answers, to be precise, and too bad, so sad. So that is the first thing that's interesting, is that there is graphic art in here, which is rare for the New York Times. Another thing that's interesting, and this also happened for today's puzzle, Saturday's puzzle, and I talked about this in the video that I didn't publish because I did a terrible job on today's puzzle, is most crosswords are rotationally symmetric, which means that if you rotate it 180 degrees, it'll be the same puzzle. So if you look at this one, you can see like here there's 2 black squares and here there's 2 black squares and here there's 3 black squares and here there's 3 black squares. So you got to rotate it 180 degrees. Puzzles, most crossword puzzles are symmetrical. Every puzzle in the New York Times is always symmetrical, but they tend to be rotationally symmetric like that. Which one is this? This is Thursday. If we look at Wednesday, you'll see the same thing. So yeah, we have like this little Tetris piece here goes to there, those two go there. So if you rotate 180 degrees, it is symmetrical. That's kind of the standard and most common thing. Ooh, the monthly one is about rom-coms this month. I'll have to check that out. But this one, I'll actually show you Saturdays first, but it's occasionally possible to be other forms of symmetrical. So today's Saturday was, I don't know if this is horizontally symmetrical or vertically symmetrical, but it's symmetrical over the y-axis. So this is the reflection point here, and then it's like flipping over like a Rorschach. This is another thing that Puzzmo does not follow. As you can see, this 2 is not symmetrical, though this little stair-step thing is a pretty common design for Snap. Pretty common design for just like puzzles in general, but also even today's in the Puzzmo. It's a heart and it appears symmetrical, but if you look at the black spaces, which are yellow on Puzzmo, they're not symmetrical. This is a non-symmetrical puzzle. So yeah, the second interesting thing about today's Sunday crossword is that it is symmetrical over the y-axis instead of being rotationally symmetrical. Also, why are crosswords always symmetrical? I don't know. I've never found an explanation for that. It's just a thing that happens in crosswords. And the third thing that is really interesting about this puzzle, and I don't think I've ever seen this in a Times crossword, or now that I think about it, in any crossword. I'm fairly certain I've never seen this before. But this center light bulb here, it doesn't connect to anything. There's no crossover between those. So I was also thinking about this in today's Saturday one, which I did struggle with. I actually just wrapped it up like 20 minutes ago. Here there was a very little crossover between the top section and the bottom section. There was only There's one word here and this one word here. So you could totally nail the top section and have nothing to help you on the bottom section, or vice versa. That was the only part. I don't know the term for this, but it's just a thing that happens, and you think about it. But wow, this middle light bulb it's a light bulb island. I've honestly never seen this before, or if I have, I've forgotten it. So let's start there, because we also see those circle clues here, though it's probably not going to tell us there what the circles mean. It's probably going to identify somewhere else. But let's just see. We're looking at bright ideas. College students' earnings. I don't know. Absinthe flavoring is anise. I know that because my friend Jason is a nasty freak who actually likes the taste of licorice. The only person I've ever met, and he puts anise in everything. And I know that absinthe tastes like licorice. There's a few liquors that taste like anise. I don't get it. Hovers menacingly. Looms? Maybe. Leaves on the shelf. See, I'm not seeing anything here that's actually telling us the theme, but that's fine. Maybe we can just get the letters here. Did I already look at this one? Yes. College students' earnings. I don't know. Let's just quickly pop through the threes. Leaves on the shelves. So this is like book leaves, but I don't know what that means. Suffix with east or west. Eastern and western, I think, is what it is. Airline to Oslo. Norwegian Air. I don't know the name of the Norwegian airline. Support staff. Don't know. Mirror. I don't know. Having knobby bumps. Gnarly? No. Naughty? No. Relative of limited. I'm going to say incorporated. Ethically indifferent. Amoral, immoral. Not like, no. Immoral, like IMM, is against morals. Amoral is like non-moral. Tangential remarks. I'm kind of nervous about this because I'm not getting anything right away, and we're on an island, so nothing's going to help us. If I get through the rest of these across and I don't know them, they might come to me in time if it, marinates in my brain, but otherwise I'm fucked. When the original Big Five ruled Hollywood, the studio era, and that's good because that makes me think that everything else that I have across is correct. Magical objects. Don't know. Union members. Would it be brides? They love to do a union pun meaning a marital union. Brides would fit. I don't know. Hospital areas are probably ERs or ORs. That one just comes up a lot. I'm going to put ORs. I don't know why. Anything here. Credits is what students earn. So then brides is not the union members. I still don't know that one. Okay, so even if we don't get anything else in here, we figured out the letters here, and I already have an idea of what they go to. I mean, I know what they spell. Do you see what they spell? It's connected to the light bulb. It's Edison, the inventor of the light bulb. So it might just be that, but then there's going to be another clue that's going to be like man referenced in the circles. Ooh, yes. 72 down with circled letters reading clockwise. American icon born 2/11, which is the date that this puzzle will be running in the future, the distant future, the year 2000. Actually 1847. But isn't it Thomas Edison? What's his middle name? Nobody knows. Okay, so that didn't even get us the answer. If you know the answer, shout it at your screen. If you know, it's probably Thomas and then it has a middle name. If you know Thomas Edison's middle name, roll down your window at your house right now and shout it to your neighbor. Mirror. Imitate. So this is ER. Why did I do that? I could have just written out the word. Support staff. Assistants. It's abbreviated. I think I talked about this in a previous puzzle where it's like you know the word, you know that's supposed to be abbreviated, but you don't know how it's supposed to be abbreviated, but I think that would be how you would do it. Tangential remarks. Silent. No. Maybe. Looms is probably right because studio error, but it's not for certain. Side notes are tangential remarks. Talismans are magical objects. Let's see what that gave us. So 78 leaves on the shelf, tea. So it wasn't book leaves, it was tea leaves on a pantry shelf. Airline to Oslo, SAS. I'll just have to take your word for it. So this is nodular is having naughty bumps. That makes sense. And union members are states. A different pun than I was thinking. It wasn't marital unions, it was national unions. Peter, I'm liking this puzzle so far. You got some clever clues even in that light bulb. And I solved the light bulb. Look, I solved the puzzle. 7 minutes and 36 seconds. A record for me on the Sunday crossword. Okay. Yeah, I don't know that thing about Edison. Is there anything else related to Edison that I'm seeing here? These are all in italics. Oh, it's going to be things that he invented. I saw 69 down and I didn't write it in because I wanted to find other clues, but this is one. So the object in the classic painting, his master's voice, is a phonograph, which is something invented by Thomas Edison. I want to look up this painting and I hope it doesn't show Edison's name here. But even I said that, I said Thomas Edison very confidently. So I think it's Thomas, it's just we don't know the middle name. But yeah, it's the phonograph there. Okay, no spoilers. Don't show his middle name. But honestly, I'm going to go ahead and write in Thomas. And we just don't know his name. So yeah, all of these italicized ones are going to be invention of his. Failed device meant to communicate with the dead. Tommy, you weirdo. You're making some fun inventions. Bygone tape dispenser. Reel to reel? No. I wouldn't even dispense it. I guess I don't know all of his inventions. Something that's big with the current generation. It's a dynamo. This is going to be about generating electrical currents. Dynamo's too short. Gosh, what did he invent? Alternator? Because he did the alternating current. And I think Tesla did direct current. I just know this one is Mira Sorvino. But I want to keep finding Edison ones. The thing in this thing is a microphone. This is fun. It's a fun puzzle. Duplicating machine. So machine isn't in it. It's not a copier. That was much later. Yeah, that might be all I can get on Edison's inventions. But I want to start in this area because let's see if we can, get his middle name, but maybe get it off of some of the things that we already have. So let's just arbitrarily kind of start here just because it feels like these are... Ooh, you know what? This is probably wrong. I was going to say these just feel doable because it's this chunk of 6 here. So it's like if we get those are going to start filling those in. But 55 is another one I saw in my periphery when I'm trying not to read clues, and I am. I had already seen this, that Sarah's response to how was the game is probably we lost, and I was feeling that even before I saw it. So I think, unfortunately, I have to delete alternator. That's we lost, a phrase I know all too well. Being a Ford Madison fan. Heretofore, poetically. I think heretofore came up in yesterday's puzzle, which is actually today's puzzle because it's Saturday. Students do over retest. I guess I probably... Oh no, this is still worthy because it's going on microphone. So now I'm just doing the top corner. I said I was going to do the bottom corner, but I don't know, life surprises you sometimes. Blue... something symbol of Delaware. The only thing I can think of is hen. Delaware is a weird state. Cereal box abbreviation, I don't know. Those in Spanish, I don't know. Unleashes upon. Let's go? No. Because that's not upon. That would be unleashes. That's probably where they put the upon. Netflix series star in the Fab Five, Queer Eye. Great show. I really only kind of watched the first season, but So heartwarming. If you haven't seen it, watch the first season. It's not just about like fashion. It's really about like being a better person. Orange juice specification: no pulp. If you're a baby, sorry, I shouldn't hate on. You can drink whatever you want, but I like pulp. What's wrong with me? Okay, this is something with power. Would it just be power plant? Did he just invent the idea of a power plant? That seems too big. So let's stick with this. I don't know that one. I don't know that one. Do we get anything for 47? Hostile party is a foe. Lacking. Don't know. Seeming eternity is an eon. It's just, yeah, there's nothing else I had there. Sight is quote. Sportscaster Hershiser, I don't know. I want to do downs before crosses because I have more letters there. Director Walsh of Old Hollywood. Peter Coders, I know your hobbies. You talked about the studio era. You talking about Old Hollywood. I feel like you're a fan of old movies. You would have got along with Larry Callahan, R.I.P. in peace. Che Guevara wore a beret. Yeah. Easy on Me singer. I don't know, but Adele would fit. Chicago booth offering in brief would be an MBA. That is like a business school. I kind of want to just put Adele. It fits letters wise. Still don't know that one. See if we get anything from this. Shook a leg. I would think dance. No, it's hurried. Is shaking a leg. It may be a lot outside the city. 1 acre. It's acre. I don't know what goes the other part. We got 22 now. It's probably Raul. And Oral is also a name, like Moral Oral on Adult Swim. Lacking. Could be out of, but no. Sashimi choice. Do you put tuna in sashimi? Verb in some tautologies. I recently learned what a tautology is, and I've already forgotten it. Ooh, there's some acrosses. It helps you get the picture. I mean, it's camera, right? C-A-M-E-R-A. What's the first part? Just, what came before the film camera? There was the plate. Is it a plate camera? Pencil it in. And then we got to find the other acrosses that are Edison clues. Was that it? That makes sense because just looking at the grid, there's not a lot of long ones, but another pretty rare thing to have clues in the opposite direction. Actually, there's a fourth weird thing about this puzzle. I guess the things I said before were all about the grid, but I think in a previous video I said it's pretty rare to see theme clues going down, and for this, the majority of the theme clues are going down. And then another strange thing is that there's the majority is going down, but one is going across. That's unusual. Okay. Let's try working off of this one. And then we might actually see if maybe the first half of this is wrong, if none of these pair up. Primary person. It's going to be like someone running for office. I can't think of any that would end with a P, so maybe it's wrong. Acclaims, honors, rewards, bygone tape type. Don't know. Plate might be wrong. Bone attached to the patellar tendon. So this is tendon. That probably means it's an arm or a leg. What is the patel? I should know that. I will say that radius and ulna both come up a lot in crosswords, and I know that those are the two in your forearm, and I knew that before I broke my radius. And when last summer when I broke my radius and I was in the hospital and I found out it was my radius that was broken, my reaction besides fuck was, oh, cool. The bone that comes up in crosswords all the time. It's not a joke. I really thought that. And I was like, well, Doc, I know the radius and ulni. Okay, I'm a crossworder. Don't talk down to me about radii and ulnae, the plurals of radius and ulna. The radius is top one, and the ulna is the outside one. That I only know because I broke one, and I know I broke it here, which is the top one, or like the inside one. Okay, back to the puzzle. I'm taking way too long in this. I am also on some tangents today. I know I said I'm going out drinking later. I haven't started yet. I'm only drinking water. But I am being silly today. Bone. I still don't know this bone, though. Unit of stamps would be a sheet. And that makes me think plate is right. Poet, Federico Garcia. Don't know. Talk show host nominated for an Academy Award. I feel like they all get nominated every time. So who knows? Whisper from Don Juan. So it's probably going to be the Spanish word for whisper, which I don't know, unfortunately. Letter-shaped groove used in framing. I don't know, but it's probably going to be S just because there's an S there. So it's going to be like ESS. But yeah, I don't know. If all goes well. Don't know. Baseball manager who wants to start his team to pair up in threes. Yogi Berra, who always has great little phrases. And that makes me guess, second guess this. Yeah, because it would be tibia, right? That's one. I was talking about Yogi Berra today. I was actually watching soccer, and surprise, surprise. But he had a comment about hitting, and he just said, hit them where they ain't. I think that was a Yogi Berra one. Just hit it where they ain't. And there was like a really good pass where it's just like the sea of defenders cleared and he passed it right through. And I just pass it where they ain't. Still don't know that talk show host or the whisper. So this is going to be T something. But I don't know what the second word is. If all goes well, as I hope. Spending a lot of time in this area, but I'm slowly cracking away. Still don't know that poet. This is Oprah. I was thinking, for some reason, when it was talk show host, I was thinking late night talk show. And when I said I feel like they're all nominated, I didn't read this closely. I didn't realize it was an Academy Award. I was thinking an Emmy. And I feel like there's so many Emmy Awards. And I feel like when you see the category for late night, which is not what this clue was, but I assumed it was, it's just like every late night host is like, oh yeah, it's all of them. They're just like nominated every time. So if I had paid more attention to the clue and maybe was talking less nonsense, I might have actually figured it out. It's Oprah. T slot feels like a groove. Let's put it in. And then Lorca feels like a poet that I've heard of. Oh, and then the whisper would be te amo. You whisper that you love someone. Cool. Still don't know what that camera is. That is hilarious. What a hoot. Fun answer there. Fun answer for it. Fun clue. Lacking. Short of. I was thinking maybe out of. So then this is tuna. I've never heard of tuna sashimi, but I believe you. So then this would be 1 acre. I think tautology is R. And then short for subway stop is station. The other thing would be N. That's not going to work with that. Yeah, I feel like a tautology is like a logical thing. It's like on the tip of my brain. Bygone tape type. Don't know. Acclaims. Nope. Okay. And yeah, this we all looked at already. We didn't look at this. I just said before, CIA spoof. So like a movie spoofed the CIA. I can think of like Naked Gun. I don't know. Like a tuxedo bib. Ridiculous. I don't know. But this is the direction I wanted to go anyways. Let's look at this Thomas stuff. Language with 44 consonant symbols. And then it starts with, or it's 4 letters, and the second one is an H. Tie. Fertility clinic donations, OVA, guys in commercials. Don't know. Shelley's To a Skylark. I thought it was like ode to a skylark, but it's just to a skylark. 270 degrees from Sur. I think Sur is south. So this would be east or west depending on which direction you're going. But I think it's east, and I think that's este, and I believe that's Spanish. It's either Spanish. It's one of the Romance languages. Tillian Tool is a hoe. So is your mom. Late harvest month, September or October, not November. I think September wouldn't really work here. You wouldn't put like SPT, so it's got to be October. Yeah, because also September would be early harvest. So yes, October. Common spot for a wasp nest would be your eave. That's a clue that comes up a lot. I've never seen a clue like that. Or an answer that comes up a lot. I've never seen a clue like that. I like that. Fosse. I didn't know of Fosse like of Broadway fame, but not as a primatologist. I don't know. Is there anything, guys, with commercials? I still don't know this one. I feel like it's got to be men. I still don't know that last part. I know. Place to find a crook. I also feel like it's Thomas A. Edison. I still don't know his middle name, but I feel like it's A. But this won't help. Place to find a crook. Crook of a tree. Tastes is probably tries. Board of a cosmetics company. Estee Lauder is cosmetics, and Estee comes up a lot and is usually included with that, but I don't know how that would fit with board. It's just like the name of it. Failed device meant to communicate to the dead. Necrograph. Nope. Necrophone. That's so spooky. Chaos. Don't know. PIs as an example, and it's abbreviated. Don't know. Turn bad. Ale. Rot. Seems wrong. Blanket. Don't know. Welcome policy at a bar. Yeah, I don't know. Seventh heaven. Okay, we kind of crashed out on that corner. Sorry, Thomas. We don't know your middle name. Let's look at this one. Brand name on a Go-Gurt box. Did you know that Go-Gurt is just yogurt? I don't know the brand that makes it, though. Athlete Arthur is Ash. He comes up a lot. Who knows? I tend to say that when I'm solving crosswords. Ohio home to Cedar Point, the roller coaster capital of the world. That is Sandusky. Don't ask me how I know that. I'm not a roller coaster guy. I kind of am. I don't like going on roller coasters, but I'm fascinated by them. And I'll often watch YouTube videos of like POV roller coasters, but I will not go on one myself. Steering implement is an oar. Leave one's mark in a way. If it was leaves one's mark, I would put tags, but that's not it. It's leaves, so it has to match the tense there. Hide her hair. Is that a thing? I've never heard of it. Downhearted. Don't know. Lab dropper. It's I don't know what it's called. I would just call it a dropper. Bagel topper. Locks. Sesame. Yeah, I don't know. Barbershop sounds. Snips. I like bagels a lot. I just can't think of what goes on them. I always just get cream cheese. Oh, that's what it is. It's schmear. Where'd it go? I would not have got that without the S, because I wouldn't have. I think I wouldn't have known that there's a C in there. I would have just spelled it SHMEAR. That's one of those things like you say out loud, but you never have to spell it. Kind of bond. Ionic is a bond. So hide nor hair. That just feels like a weird old phrase. It makes sense. Like it's neither hide nor hair. Hide is like skin. Gender abbreviation. I can think of him, but that's not an abbreviation. Would it be like? Yeah, I don't know. Bard's instrument is probably a lyre. Lyre and a player. Seasonal inflatable. I don't know. An inflatable Santa. They're referring to the Santas of Monroe Street. I Oh, liar's wrong. Liar's a lute, and the word for the dropper is pipette. Downhearted. In a rut in the dumps doesn't fit. Gosh, I don't know. I still don't know the gender abbreviation. Oh, femme. So then this is in a funk. Cool. Can we get this one? Leave one's mark is sign. So then this is 88 down, novelist Dan Brown. Oh, of course. I should have known that. The author of my favorite book, The Da Vinci Code. That's a very Joe Pera joke. Not that I could ever be as funny as Joe Pera, but he's big on like pretending to like something that's basic. I saw him live recently, and he had all his notes in like an envelope. I mean, I think he just had notes because he had a new stand-up special a few months ago, so he's all doing new material. So he's got notes, I think, to know what to talk about, but also to kind of write stuff down. But he had it in an envelope, and he came out and he pretended like it was an award show, and he said, "And the Grammy for greatest song of all time goes to Moves Like Jagger by Maroon 5." He just really likes to take something mediocre and pretend that it's really good. He also has a recurring bit in his podcast where whenever he interviews someone, he asks them what their favorite movie is, and every guest says The Hobbit: An Unexpected Journey. It's just like, it's the perfect, like, it's a bad movie, but it's kind of perfectly mediocre because you're not choosing the worst movie ever. You're not like, my favorite movie is The Room. It's just like, this is a movie that no one would ever call their favorite movie, but have everyone do it. And so that's what I was going for when I said, oh yeah, the author of my favorite book. Spot. Don't know. Prepare to skate. Lace up, baby. Keep your stick on the ice. Is this going to give me 64? Bygone tape dispenser. Nope. Burdensome amount. I don't know. You can trip on it in the desert. Peyote. People go to the desert to do peyote. You could probably do it wherever, but I don't really know. Without gender in Latin. So Peter Catters is very fascinated by old movies and terms for gender. Is a lot a burdensome amount? Kind of. Spot would be sight. SITE as a verb always confuses me, but that's what it is. I want to say eunuch because of that EU, but that's not what it is. Cougar is a puma. There's I think like cougars, pumas, mountain lions. There's one more. They're all just different names for the same animal, and I only learned that in the past few years. Prime Minister in World War II of, I imagine, Japan. I guess I didn't realize there was one. I thought it was just the emperor. Hideki blank. I don't know. Cat's paw. Is it a tom? I think it's a tom. I think a male cat, especially one that breeds, is a tom. Egyptian god of death and rebirth. Anubis would fit. I would have thought Isis was that, but I mean, we can put it in and see what happens. After school helper is a tutor, so maybe I should have looked at those before doing this. This is probably Osiris. Add it to the list of things I need to learn to get better at crosswords. Egyptian gods. So those don't come up often. Character with character. Don't know. Anthony of In the Heights and Hamilton. Is it Ramos? Did I reference? No, I referenced Hades Town a second ago when I was mumbling to myself. Is neuter? Does that, like, the term we use neuter, does that come from the Latin word for genderless? I would think yes. Burdensome amount is a ton. Does bygone tape dispenser. So then with ticker, stock ticker. Yeah, when the stock ticker would give it had ticker tape, and when they ticker tape parades, it was literally a stock ticker. They'd just like throw that out the window because it was already like confetti like. Sharer's possessive is our. I'm going to switch this to a cross and put that in. Our frog, not your frog. Back in the day is once. Do you love when I mumble these references? Alley-oop would be this one. Ryan North would and does argue that alley-oop is spelled with the French alle, but no one, or would say A-L-L-E-Z, but no one ever understands that. But apparently that's the correct spelling, but most people put this spelling of alley-oop because the other one's just confusing. I think I don't know, did I ever look at the downs here? Swerves at sea, I think is yaws. I usually think of that as a flight thing, but I think flight uses the same terms as nautical stuff. Because yeah, it's pitch and yaw, which would be to swerve. It's got to work. An ordination that sets workers' exposure limits is OSHA. I'll put that in and switch to a cross. So this would be yo play. I hate when they put brands as answers. I mean, I get it, Peter. I've never made a puzzle. I'm going to make one this year, and I'm sure I will end up having to put a brand in there, and then I'll eat crow, but it just bums me out. I hate brands. I was still working down here. Let's see if I got this. Oh, character with characters and emoji. That's a fun one. I still don't know that one. If it was, I mean, dojo, I know is a Japanese word, but I don't know. Oh, no, soldier's helmet is like a tin. Is it a tin hat? It's tin something. Yeah, I think it's a tin hat. So Tojo sounds like a real name. Giant Mel. Don't know. One with 2 years. I mean, it's gonna be a sports thing. It's someone who plays for the Giants or played for the Giants, whether that's the New York Football Giants or the San Francisco Baseball Giants, or even the New York Baseball Giants of old days. Because this guy likes old movies, so he probably likes old baseball players. But I can't think of one. One with 2 years to go informally. It's going to be soft, but I don't know if I agree with that clue. I would argue that a sophomore has 3 years to go if you're counting sophomore year. Didn't stop. Went on, maybe? Let's see. Sportage automaker. No, that's Kia. I don't know why I know that one. Probably because I was looking up Kias the other day. Rubik with a cube. I don't know the guy who invented it. Guys in commercials. Still don't know that one. So is kept on? Is that didn't stop? Kept on. Yeah, because then the guys would be like pitchmen. That's, yeah, because you pitch a commercial. Okay. Now we're starting to butt up on the area I got stuck on before, but we have more letters, so I'll just look at it really quick. I'm aware that there are clues I still haven't even seen, so I should do those next. Chaos. In a word, chaos. P-I-S-C-G. If I got really good, I would do like other YouTube channels where they edit in clips from stuff. So when I mumble chaos to myself, instead of me just saying, in a word, chaos, I would show Bill Hader on SNL. I'm going to start inserting clips of these lines that I'm quoting. Except no, I'm not, because that is way more effort that I'm ready to put into this channel. No offense, my 3 viewers. Chaos is havoc. See, sometimes I just talk nonsense, then the answer comes to me. PIs. Yeah, I just don't know this one. I feel like there is a common abbrev for investigators and detectives that comes up, and I always tell myself I'm going to remember it, and I don't. But I also feel like I remember it and are starting with a D, like DOC being a thing for detectives. But I feel pretty confident in tin hat. Can I get anything with this? So this is phone, which makes sense because phone would be the suffix for communicating. You know, that is, I mean, it means sound, but it's used for that. Like telephone is, tele is remote and phone is sound, so it sends sound remotely. So this would be sending sound to the dead, but it's not necro. I don't know what it is. But we're making progress at least. Blanket. Over. No. Welcome policy to bar. No. Youths. No shirts, no shoes, no service. Seventh heaven. Still don't know. Okay. Let's get stuff that we can know. Place for poisson is, that's French for fish. So a place for them is the sea, which is mer. IV placers is going to be RNs. It's another common one. I really feel like this blue is a hen, but I just don't know what it's about. The terribles R is Ivan, and because there's 2 letters first, it's probably the second. Feel discontented. Don't know. Metal receptacle by a fireplace is ash bin. That's one where it's like they needed to clue it with a different word for bin. So they put receptacle. And it's just like, I don't know, something about receptacle told me. They're probably thinking bin. Table scraps. Don't know. Designer. Miller. That's a trivia one that I just don't know. Italian dipping sauce. Marinara. So dang, ash bin was wrong. And I talked a big game. Ash can? That seems like the next most logical thing. Still doesn't give me that. Still doesn't give me anything for table scraps. Some nights of celebration is eaves. Duplicating device. This would be graph again because it's writing. So phono is sound, graph is writing. Same thing, telegraph is remote writer. You can write something far away. And phonograph is writing sound onto a disc. Yeah, Edison was really consistent with, like, I'm going to use the Latin roots to name my thing. Feel discontented. Would that be repent? I mean, rule number 2, if it's silly, it's probably wrong. I mean, like, repent isn't just feeling discontented. It's specifically, like, apologizing. And I don't... But, I mean, the letters fit. What do we have this? Ooh, I didn't even see this. This is another theme clue. Legacy of Edison. 7 of which appear among his puzzled answers, and 1 more suggested by the black squares in the middle grid. So this is invention. So repent is wrong. Cool. And Ivan the second is actually Ivan the fourth. So inventions. So table scraps. Gosh, I still don't know. Feel discontented. There's only so many letters, and I feel like that has to be a vowel. Repine, 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 repone. Mira's right. That's one of the first ones I knew. Eves is right. Nights of celebration. Graph has got to be right, because it's a thing that he uses so often in his naming conventions. This one we don't have. Marinara's got to be right, and Italian dipping sauce, and inventions. So, am I just being really dumb right now? Why can I not think of this thing for feel discontent? Is it not a single word? I'm thinking like something. Is it like repine? If you pine for something you desire, and if you repine, that's... Maybe Mira is wrong. But it could, or is it like other words? Is it like rep? Gosh, I don't know. And I'm not going to waste that much time on it. Food pyramid group is the grains. Sorry if you're yelling at the screen about 57. If it's very obvious. Bygone tape type is VHS. So then this was movie camera the whole time. He didn't invent the movie camera. That was the Lumiere guys in the France. Maybe he invented maybe he simultaneously invented it, or maybe theirs was counted as like a Nickelodeon or something. Acclaims, renowns, primary person, nom, results of a sand save in golf. I'm guessing par because it fits, and save would be like, oh, you got in the sand, so then you're like, oh, I'm gonna bogey, but then you figure it out from there. Computer text standard, I don't know. Traditional Indonesian percussion orchestra. This is dumb. Perion. 80s. It's about faces. Is it Uis? I do not know how to spell that. Annual Pebble Beach event. That sounds like a golf thing. Unearth is dug up. Gosh, I can't even think of what would be there for personality. Mimegraph? would be copying. What would it spell? Mimeograph, I think is the word. Wait, primary person was. Oh no, I was like, what? I thought it was 4 letters. And then I saw it was 3 letters. Like, okay, so I didn't see 4. 4 is what I thought 5 was. They're doing the thing where they have 2 clues right next to each other. So 4 is someone who's running for office. Poll. 5 is, this is one of my favorite ones. This is one that comes up very often. And they always do this joke where it's always like another one would be like first gentleman, which is like, the husband of, a female president, or I can't think of other ones, but it's always something of like primary or first, and you think it's something else, but it is referring to the Bible story, primary person, Adam. What a fun way to do that. So then the computer text standard is Unicode. Is this Gamelin? I feel like I don't know for sure. Pebble Beach. I don't know that one. I might have to. On-air personality is someone who talks. Oh yeah, I didn't even look at 19 yet. Okay, that would have solved me a lot of trouble. That's Cesar Chavez. So, gosh. Okay, so I do think 38 down is power plant because look at those letters there. I feel like those in Spanish is that. I don't even know how to pronounce it, but I just feel like that's right. So then let's try hen there. Still don't know what it is on the cereal box. Heretofore, I don't know. Unleashes upon, let's at. So then what was heretofore? Air. Who knows, man? This might just be called spies. Is a spoof because this pluralization of spies is wrong. Tuxedo bib is pleated. Oh, see, Diana Speller. I was being a punk before when I said it's silly. I was thinking like it's a bib you wear over a tuxedo to prevent getting gunk in there, because I always think it's funny when like grown-ass men wear bibs at restaurants, but that's not what it is. It's like the thing on the tuxedo that's part of the tuxedo. I think the Rubik's Cube is Erno. So is this just spirit phone? It doesn't really fit with his naming convention on the other ones. Gosh, I still don't know. Place to find a crook. The crook of your arm. So we did have, it is an A, as I thought. Blanket. I'm like thinking like something with cover. I realize this video is getting a little long, so I might initiate the solve protocol just for the benefit of my audience, but let's give this a little bit more time. Welcome policy to bar. No. Seventh heaven. Yeah. Ooh. So it's not Estee, it's Emery. A cosmetics thing is an Emery board. I don't really know what that does, but I know that it's a cosmetics thing. But I don't want to look it up because it doesn't, I don't know if I spelled it right or I'm not 100% on that. So yeah, blanket. Because I'm thinking this is going to be like a blanket of snow, like over something, in which case the O feels like it's going to be wrong there. Welcome. No enter. No. Ecstasy is seventh heaven. So does that get us any closer? Still don't know PIs. Turn bad. Maybe it is rot. Blanket. No cover. Ooh, we're so close. Is it TOC? Blanket. I think it's going to be time to initiate the solve protocol. And if it's quick, I'll keep it in the video, but I'll just wrap it up here if you want to drop out what a neat puzzle. Like, I mean, I really like the light bulb here, and I didn't really point this out, but like these squares here, like it's not just the light bulb in there, but it looks like light is illuminating out from it with the black squares. And yeah, just this idea of, I mean, it was fun for me to kind of figure out his inventions, you know, through like a backdoor way, solving it that way. So just like, this is really neat. I am going to publish this because it's a great puzzle. So if you don't want to watch me just kind of look up the last few clues, I will not judge you if you sign off now. But otherwise, let's go into Caitlin's blog and first off, just see if she reveals anything really quickly. Otherwise, we're just going to go into the answer key. Thomas Alva. Did I get that one? No, I didn't. Okay, so Al. Overlie, I think, is blanket. TEC for detective. Thomas Alva Edison. That is an outdated name, but cool. Yeah, here's the failure. Spirit phone. I love the idea of a visionary like Edison producing such a device, which he worked in the 1920s, not knowing if it may be a part of his legacy. That was an interesting thing. I mean, around that time, there was also like spiritualism and like crystal balls and such, where like Houdini tried to disprove, but like it was definitely a fad, like seances and such. But there was a time where people were really like, let's apply a scientific approach to matters like that, and it's fascinating that Edison did that. Okay, T slot. I got repine. Oh, here we go. This is crossword ease, which is another way of saying this is a fake ass word that never gets used except for in crosswords, or to help you with like the spelling bee, which is also, a crossword type thing. This crossword is, but it's fun. To feel discontented is to repine, which I did think. An intensification of pine, and enough like recline that I think of someone draped on a fainting couch in a pitiful fit of longing. So it is repine, as I kind of suspected. That still doesn't really tell me this designer, but I mean, Nicole is a person's name, but then I don't know what the table scraps is. Orts, and I really think everything's right there, so hopefully Caitlin explains orts as well. Nodular for knobby bumps, that was a fun one. Sandusky, ooh, you can watch a POV right there. Raul Walsh, I got that. Cool, didn't get everything. Let's take a peek at the answer key. It is orts. What the hell does that mean? Nobody knows, but it's provocative. That's another one I would overlay with the clip from, I think it's Blades of Glory. I only know it because Kanye samples it. So there's just one letter we're looking for here? 50 down, but I do think part of that's wrong. NT, net weight, and then air now is up to now. So Isos is the Spanish, and let's hope this gets us for us. Yes. Cool. I already gave my post-amble about what a great puzzle this is, so I'll just repeat. Great job, Peter Caters, and thanks for watching.